Hey guys, welcome to week 7 of 605. So, I'm going to do a screencast. I want to dive a bit into looking at your presentation, the oral presentation of week 8. But very quickly, let's look at week 7. I know you guys can scroll also, but I just wanted to point out a couple things. You continue to have your weekly check in, so please keep doing that. The submission due at the end of week 7 is chapter 4 and your references and the appendix or the appendices. So I know a lot of people in conversations are talking about just chapter 4. Make sure you're doing all three. Please submit that by Thursday. I know one or two groups are still working. If you're still collecting data, please reach out to me right away and let's figure that out. That is due Thursday, and that is soon. If you need to meet with me, please reach out. We would use this link during week 7. Um, the big thing, though, if we look ahead to week 8 with your oral presentation, so a couple things, and again, with all the groups I've been meeting with, we've been having almost the same conversations. You're going to be doing about 15-minute presentations. My recommendation is to use Google Slides because it is so easy. Let's switch over for a moment. Just click that blue share button, and anyone is able to view, comment, or edit. That's so powerful, so stinking cool. We're going to come back to this, but I want to point out a couple things. As you were doing this, please make it engaging, please make it thoughtful, please do not use a lot of text. I've heard it referred to as a slidument, a document that's on slides. Um, Lots and lots of visuals. Please make it memorable for us. We're going to be You will be sitting through 4 of these, right? So kind of think about that mindset, like how do you make this memorable for other people? So with that, I have a few ideas of places you can find some resources. So first one is the Noun Project. So if we just look at something kind of fairly generic like literacy, right? I can type in reading, right? And then I'm going to get all of these icons. I have almost 4,000 icons. So please do not use clip art. If you want a clip art like thing, the Noun Project is the way to go. You can see lots and lots of things that are slightly more memorable than clip art and are useful, right? You can change the colors if you want, but it's pro, so I don't. You can do white on black, black on white, and then when you click download, save it as a ping. That gives you transparent, royalty-free as pro. You have to pay for that one. Creative Commons means you need to give credit at some point. So when you click on that, it's going to show up right there in download. And I would just call it right there and copy this. Here's my image. So I'm going to go over to just this example and call it title by people. And then let's do just a new blank maybe. And all I need to do, I'm in Chrome. Right? This doesn't play as well with other things. I can just drag it right there from my downloads. And look at that. Right? If that's a little bit big for you, you can come in, crop that, and then do you notice that I copied this earlier? So I'm going to just click paste, and then I can change the size, make it just where I want it. Please give credit when you use something that is not yours. Please teach your students to give credit when it's something that's not yours. I can even make that the bottom if I'm using some particular colors or fonts, right? That feels obnoxiously small. That's a little better. So you're able to make something that's a bit more engaging than just, clip art. Right, get the idea with that. That's Noun Project. In fact, I could just change this one to, let's just copy this. That's super not helpful. Come on now. Copy and call it, this is Noun Project. as you're going through slides, definitely come up with some colors, some fonts that are interesting. There are a lot inside of Google Slides these days, more fonts, lots and lots to choose from. So put a little bit of thought into what you want them to look like. If you want kind of a handwritten one, there's some pretty good ones. This one's always a favorite of mine. And then we're all set. Pop in and change the color. All right, you can see very quickly I'm already getting something that looks a little bit less like the traditional slide and a bit more interesting. Although I didn't select that. So that one's the noun project. Our good old friend Giphy. Let's say we want to do reading. Be careful with the appropriateness of some of these, but Beauty and the Beast looks good, so I already searched for reading. I'm just going to grab that link. It's on the clipboard, and now you ready for this? Are you ready? Your mind's going to be blown a little. This one's from Giphy. I have it on the clipboard, so let's insert image by URL. Paste. There it is. And don't underestimate the power of a good GIF. And there we go. You can even, this starts to get annoying, but in kind of a good way. Let's view super small, zoom to like 50%, and then I can just option drag to make a copy, and send it to the back, arrange, send to back, and then I can make that nice and big. And then can I do format options? Can I change the opacity? Can't. Transparency up. Does that get rid of the GIFing? It does, but that's okay. Right, and then I can come here and either copy this or grab paint format, and then when I click on this, now there's that formatting. Bam. All right, so that's a GIF. Adding it by URL. I showed you that. I showed you that. The other one, if you're just looking for a high quality image that is not yours, just Google Creative Commons and look at that, search. So I'm going to type on reading. I want something that I can just use. And I can either search Google or I really like Flickr for images. When I click on that, it's automatically going to go to Flickr. It's going to search for Creative Commons images that I am able to use. And you can see pretty quickly, you get some pretty interesting photos that may or may not fit super well. Like, okay, that could be a really strong one. This has some good negative space. Paul Bentz is the photographer, so let me download that one. Large tends to be a good way to go. Let me just do a new blank slide. You know what? No. Let me duplicate this. And then I will delete this. Drag that here. Call it Flickr. What was that person's name? Paul Bentz. What's the name of it? Reading. Okay. Reading by Paul Bentz on Flickr. As much as you can. Big images. We remember in images, send it to the back, maybe format, bump the opacity down a little bit, and you get a nice preview of what that looks like here. You can even crop it if you're not sure where your slides end. Look at that. Right? So between Noun Project, Flickr, and pardon me, and Giphy, pretty good options. Give credit to people, not necessary, I think, with Giphy, but it's good stuff. Don't be afraid to play with some good fonts, some interesting colors, right? You can add your names there. 15 to 20 minutes overall. You can have some Q&A. You definitely want to give an overview. You can add some charts. Not super necessary. Those tend to not be super memorable. But if it's something that really shows your data and what you found, feel free to share. And as you're collaboratively working on it, if you choose to do Google Slides, really easy to share with everyone in your group. They can edit. I would also go into Advanced and change anyone with a link can view That way you can share it with me, you can share it with the class without having to name them. And you can share the link with me when you're ready to share the link with me without having to add me like as an editor. You don't want to add me as an editor because then I can just come in and be like, see you later, which I wouldn't do, but I could. And then when you are done, what you would need to do with this, I'll be recording the class, so I'll have a recording of it. You want to attach, so the very, very, very last step is file, download as, and you can either download as PowerPoint or download as a PDF. So I found that a PDF plays well with others because it's not editable. Your fonts, photos, all of that stuff is arranged just so when there's a PDF and then each slide is a separate page. The other thing, since we're not looking at this on a screen, if you want to be super fancy, I can come over to page setup. This is going to blow your mind, right? That's normally what we want, widescreen. Standard is the old TVs, right? Like it'll switch it if you already have stuff on it. So you want to make this choice early. Let me actually undo that because that looks really weird. But if I come into page setup, I can do custom. What? Right? So that's normally what it is. But if I want it to be super skinny, now all of my slides can be this small, which actually doesn't make any sense. But if you wanted to have, let's say, undo that as just a little tangent because this is so powerful, you want to have your schedule on your phone, figure out the pixels of iPhone 7 Plus is my phone, not screen pixels, spelling it correctly that time. 1334 by 750. All right, let's do it. 1334 pixels by 750. And now, I did it backwards. Hang on just one moment. Let's go back to pixels 750 by 1334. And now it's the exact size of my phone. How cool is that? So you can have like custom wallpapers, drag in kind of whatever you want. And that clearly looks ridiculous, but then I could drag that back in, right? View it back at 7%. And now I have whatever I want to be. That's my lock screen, that's my background. It doesn't have to be, although it makes way more sense to be just widescreen. And we're back to where we started, right? So those are some tips for you. Looking forward to seeing what you have to share. On week 8, we're meeting Tuesday at 6 p.m. In week 8 starts April 30th. So I believe we're meeting May 1st. Is that the Tuesday? I think so. So there you have it. Reach out as you have questions, and happy week 7, everybody.